Hello everyone, I'm Monica. I've spent my career in technical enablement at companies like IBM and AWS. In the tech world today, if there's one thing that I have learned, is being the connective tissue. The person who can take high-level strategy and turn them into technical reality in a very fast speed. We've all been there. A VP dropped a rough outline on your lap for a high-stakes board meeting, and you have zero time to manually formatting 20 slides. Today, I'm going to show you how I stopped being the slide formatter and start being an AI workflow architect. I'm going to take you behind the scenes of a project that I called Cloud Grind SaaS. So, what is the project that I'm building? Well, I have recently received this email from the VP of the company that I work for. It says, the CEO just pulled the leadership meeting forward, and I need the SE and post-sale strategy slides ASAP. I'm presenting this to the board at 4 p.m. today. Luckily, he sent me a rough doc with his brand down, and he wanted to make sure that I have board-ready, high-level, and strictly on-brand slide deck that is ready to before 4 p.m. in his inbox before the meeting. And I'm looking into the outlines that he has sent. The notes is pretty messy, although he did give that how many slides that he needs. He gave some of the general goals, right, to include the GTM pre-sales North Star, based on some of the bottlenecks that they're facing. What is their goals and KPIs? Also, some of the recovery strategies for post-sales. How do they define some of the staffing issues and creating the barista triad as needed? And some of the asks from the leaderships as well. So, what would I have done in the past? To be honest, I would have canceled my dinner plans. I would have sat through the entire notes for the afternoon and looked into the layouts from the previous year's content and manually trying to transfer those contents into the slide deck. Not only that's very time consuming, I will also be risking of missing the deadline that he needs. Remember, he sent that to me by 1 p.m. and he actually needs that by 4 p.m. of the same day. However, now I realized something. Being responsible here doesn't mean doing the groundwork. It actually means to be creative, to create the AI system and be the connective tissue between those raw technical problems and the business outcomes that the board actually cares about. So in this case, I'm going to show you two different ways to use Gemini to make the work. The method one is simpler to create slide based on the note that he shared. The second method is going to take a little bit more time, but it works great in the future because once you have set up the system, you can reuse that to apply the corporate brand and the corporate themes that you wanted to use for those decks, and then to enter the deck content based on the theme that you have picked. Both way works, really depending on if you do that all the time or just a one-off task. Let me show you how it is done. So I am in Gemini, and you can see the end result that has been done with the Gemini gem. Let's move backwards a little bit. By going into Gemini homepage, I have the option to just create a new chat before I get into the gem. The new chat is my very first way to use it to create a simple G slide. As you can see that I have the tools in my toolbox here. I'm not creating an image or creating any music here. I am going to use the Canvas tool that Gemini 3 has to offer. And as you can see, I am in the free plan right now. I haven't upgraded to Google AI Plus yet. So right here, I'm going to use Canvas, and I have the notes ready. Going into slide 1, right? I like to always do this. which is before I get into Canvas, I wanted to ask Gemini a simple question to turn below notes into high-level board room ready slide outline for one executive slide with title, subtitle, and content that should be included in the slide. This really helped me gather through the thoughts based on the notes that I've received, and let's see what Gemini can create. So I get some of the executive summary and key objectives, right, for this slide. Some of the strategic pillars that can be used for current state and future state, and target KPIs and impact, right? All of these insights, they're really great. Instead of generating a script, I am actually going to use Canvas and say, create one G slide based on the above outline. Pick the layout as of you are a executive level content specialist. And simple as that, Gemini is doing the work to visualizing the solution, defining the scope, and create the slide for me. All right, what did I get? Your boardroom ready GTM strategic slides is complete now. I've seen the clean McKinsey style slide right here with the layout that is picked to ensure maximum impact for the executive presentation. What should I do? Is it just a picture or a PDF that I can download? Not really. I can actually export that into a G slide as designed, as intended. So if I click on export to slides, it creates a real editable slide, which I really love, that you could use to make changes, right? For example, if I wanted to change different font, I could do that right here, but it's a lot easier than creating things from scratch, right? I can also change some of the content as needed, right? If I wanted to see, change the picture or change the layout a little bit, I can also do that easily. Now that I am done with the very first method, let me show you how a Gemini gem works in this case. A Gemini gem is a way to organize those reoccurring tasks that you have done by putting very specific instructions into Gemini and some of the knowledges that you could also use, right, to create that more customized solution based on your request. In this case, if I click on gems, you see that there are multiple ways to do gems right now. You could even do this very new kind of gem, which we will explore in the future, that is from Google Labs. Or you could use the more classic gem by going into the gem manager here. As you can see that you could create your storybook, any of the brainstormers, some of the career guides there, or like my case, create a new gem that is called Cloud Grind Executive Slide Creator. By getting into the slide creator, I could actually create the slides based on the notes because I have created this customized designer whose mission is to turn the messy GTM notes into brand-ready slides using the specific theme that I have entered. The output is G slides created by Canvas by design. So as you can see that the recent one that I just did, right? If I click on this one, you can see that what I have done with this gem, which created that specific slide that I like. See the GTM strategy that was being created, the pre-sales North Star, solving the time to first sip for the coffee company. We have even highlighted the critical risks that was being done based on the notes and having the data ready, right? Some of the KPI goals that was included in his original notes, right? Goal moving from 6 to 8 weeks to 2 weeks for fully implementation, and also have the KPI of 40% reduction for pre-sales hours. So you see both goals highlighted right there without my manual work. And if I click on export to slides, I can do the same things to make edits to the slide. Honestly, seeing these slides come together like that, following the exact branding guideline, and being highly available to the executive level is why I love this AI workflow. It takes the heavy lifting out of the connective tissue between a great idea and a finished deck. If you wanted to see exactly how I built this gem from the ground up, make sure to catch the next video. I am going to do a deep dive into the back end, sharing some of my favorite optimization tips. And as promised, I will also have a downloadable prompt guide ready for you so that you can replicate these results yourself. Thank you for hanging out today. Cheers with coffee. I'll see you in the next one.